It is about to go down hard. Not just on mirrorless stuff, but on F-mount stuff too. Nikon has slashed the prices on what I think is some of their best stuff. It really makes me wonder what Nikon is planning. In the description of this video, there will be a link to Adorama. Doesn't cost you anything extra. It just helps out the channel just a little bit. First, let's take a look at the mirrorless stuff and let's see what we've got going on. The 180-600, which I just tested the other day, not on sale. Boom. The Nikkor Z 70-200mm f2.8 VRS. Now, I have said before that I always thought that lens was a little bit overpriced at that $2,700 mark. I just, optically, it's not like my favorite, but performance-wise, it's absolutely incredible and fast. But $22.96 is a little cheaper, because that's $400 off. That makes this a pretty dadgum good value. Then we got $200 off on the Nikon Nikkor Z 100-400, the contrast machine, f4.5 to 5.6 VRS. That is $200 off at $24.96. That's a good price for that lens. I thought this one was a tiny bit overpriced too at that $2,700 mark. The $24.96, I think that that's where this lens should be priced at. That's good. We like that. This is another 70-200 for $400 off. That's insane. With $22.96. This one up here comes with a bunch of stuff for the same price. Filters, if you want that, but also a looks like a lens cleaning kit. But this right here, the Nikkor Z MC105 f2.8 VRS. 1 second. I bought this literally 3 minutes after it launched. I woke up before midnight when this launched years ago to make sure that I was in the first round of people that got this lens. I paid $999.95. I used it and I realized, holy crap, this lens has no business being $1,000. Well, the price, of course, has gone up in the last few years, and now it costs more than that. This is a $1,046.95 lens when you buy it brand new. This lens is awesome for portraits. This was my Nikon Z portrait lens for a very long time. And of course it does macro. It does beautiful macro, beautiful colors, excellently sharp. This lens is so much fun and it's so versatile and it's so useful. And they're selling it for under $850. You're already crazy if you don't own this lens for $1,046 because it's underpriced, I think, at that. And so now it's $200 off at $846. If you've been even thinking about this, if it's been in the back of your mind, like, well, maybe someday, just go ahead and get it. Like, you're crazy if you don't have this lens. This lens is so much fun and so versatile. That is the best deal. It's granted, there's some that are like $400 off. This one's $200 off, but this was never supposed to be $200 more than $846, okay? It's worth more than that. I know I'm really energetic right now. It's not from the coffee. You just witnessed my second sip this morning. How do I do it, you say? I'm already kind of a morning person, and I just get really hyped whenever Nikon gets to slashing their prices. Getting back over here, we've seen a price like this before. The Nikkor Z 50mm f1.8s. I've said before that should be everybody's first lens. If you're buying a Nikon Z mirrorless camera for the first time, get the 50mm f1.8s. For $526, we've seen it around there before, but that's $100 off. You're not probably ever going to beat that unless you go used. No savings on the 3514. Boom! The Nikkor Z 14-24 f2.8s. I have had a lot of people in my comments saying that they're about to get this lens. Now's the time to pull the trigger at $400 off, $2,096.95. And this one here comes with a Nissi 112mm UV filter kit for $21.46. I mean, get that if you want, but I would just get the lens and then you can shop for the filters that you like later on. I don't even know if the Nissis are worth that. We have a gigantic kit full of stuff for the Nikkor Z 24-70mm f2.8s, the absolute best rendering mid-range zoom that I think has ever existed. It's so good. $400 off the $1996.95. Now, we've seen that price before, but you know, $400 off, we basically reversed inflation and then been given a discount. That is in the ballpark of what I paid for my original one, something like 4 or 5 years ago. The Nikon Nikkor Z 800mm f6.3 VRS at this moment, I have not tested that lens yet, but people, you know, if you need an 800 millimeter, I don't need an 800 millimeter. Most telephoto people probably don't need an 800 millimeter, but if you do need an 800 millimeter for what you do, $500 off, $5,996.95. I'm not saying we won't see $500 off again on this lens. I'm just saying that $500 off is really generous, and if you've been sitting on it, now's your chance. We got $100 off the Nikkor Z 85mm f1.8s at $696.95. I still think that's a little bit overpriced. I don't think this lens should be $796.95. I just think it's a little bit slow. It's a little one-trick pony, and it is incredibly sharp. It looks great inside. Outdoors, I feel like it's kind of flat rendering. It's just kind of like what you expect out of like modern lenses. But, you know, if you're not in the ballpark of considering the 85-1.2, which is my favorite lens of all time, you know, $100 off, honestly, just make this $596 for a short period of time. I think $596 is a good, fair price for this lens. Got $100 off the 24-200 f4 to 6.3 VR. You guys know how I feel about that lens. That's still overpriced. This is a $600 lens all day. It's funny that even whenever they put it on sale, they can't even do like $200 off like they've done with some of the other lenses. I don't know why Nikon thinks that this lens is like worth that. I hate this lens. Oh, I see. Okay, this comes with the flashpoint zoom and a bunch of other stuff, and so it kind of makes sense for it to be more expensive. However, down here, we have the Nikon Nikkor Z 24-200 f4 6.3, still $100 off for $796.95. They still can't hit. Even when this thing is on sale, they still can't hit the price that this thing is actually worth. This should be $596, I think. I think it should be $596.95. That's what this lens is worth. Oh, $200 off the 70-180 f2.8. That's a good deal. I think this is already a good value compared to the 70-200. At its regular price of $1246, but $200 off, that's pretty good. You might check that one out. Dude, my second favorite lens of all time. Hang on a second. Never mind, my 50mm f1.2 is currently sitting on the Z9 behind the teleprompter. I'm not digging that out right now. This is my formal favorite lens of all time. Still gets used more than any other lens that I have, even though it's not my favorite. But the Nikon Nikkor Z 50mm f1.2s, $200 off. Shut up and buy it. Shut your mouth and buy it. Don't ask no questions. Don't think about it too hard. Just get this thing. No sale on the 20mm. That's a shame. That's one of my favorite lenses in the lineup. I got that one sitting right here. Whoa, $500 off the Nikon Nikkor Z 600mm f6.3 VRS for $42.96. If I wasn't waiting on the 35-1.2 to drop, which it hasn't at this point, but if I wasn't waiting on it, I'd probably get that just to have a super telephoto something to have around. $500 off is real generous. We've seen stuff like this before. The 40mm f2, which is a great lens. It's underpriced even whenever it's at its regular price of $296, but it's $70 off. The 14-30 f4, if you don't need the f2.8, the 14-30 f4 is a great lens, a really, really great lens. It's $200 off. The Nikkor, oh, this is a good value. The Nikkor Z 28-75 f2.8 is $300 off at $896.95. That's a good price for that lens. That's a very, very nifty lens. Here's a 50mm f1.8s for $546 with a bunch of stuff that comes with it. Looks like a little small filter kit and some cleaning supplies. And the Nikkor Z 35mm f1.8s, I'm not a huge fan of that lens, but at $696, I still think it's a little more expensive. I think from day one, this lens should have been the same price as the 50mm f1.8s. The 50mm f1.8s, I think renders better. I think it's better in like every way. It's sharper, has better contrast, better color, and it's faster. This is a rather slow lens. I like my 35s to be a little faster, but $150 off is okay when this thing is generally $846, which is way overpriced for that lens. So if you're thinking about getting that, if you're not interested in the 35-1.2 or the 35-1.4, then, you know, $696 is as good as we're going to get right now, but I bet we'll see that price again in the future. Heyo, the Nikkor Z 400mm 4.5, $250 off. You can't beat this shit. And as we scroll through here, there's a bunch of like accessory kits that come with a bunch of stuff, and you get the same discount on the lens. The price of the gear is factored in on some of these, and on some of them they're not. And so just pay attention. If you want basically free stuff or cheap stuff, then, you know, get something like that, you know. Might as well get free stuff if you can. My favorite thing to do is to get those little lens cleaning kits for free. I've never bought a lens cleaning kit. It's just whenever I go to like buy something, if I'm already buying that thing and I'm getting like a lens cleaning kit for free, the 28mm f2.8, just like the 40mm, it's also $70 off at $226.95. That's a fun little lens. And there we go, the Nikon Nikkor Z 17-28 f2.8. So far, we have the Nikon, definitely Nikon made premium Holy Trinity. They're all on sale. And now the probably Tamron made but Nikon branded, more cost-effective option for getting a Holy Trinity of lenses to go to work with. The Nikkor Z 17-28 f2.8, $200 off at $996. That is a good price. That lens is fun. I enjoyed shooting that lens. It's absolutely excellent. And at $996, that is a really, really great deal. You have both Trinities are all on discount. So pick which one you want to do. You could get the most premium one and basically have the best Trinity on the planet, or you could save basically way more than like 50% and get like some extra lenses too if you go the cost-effective route, and then maybe get you the 50mm f1.2. Of course, the 135 Plena is not going to be on sale. It's probably too new. And we have a really odd savings, the Nikon Nikkor Z DX50 to 250 4.5 to 6.3 VR in the Essentials kit. It's $40.83 off. So I think we've pretty much found all of the excellent deals that are going on in the mirrorless world. But I saw some pretty crazy ones in F-mount, so let's go check that out. Geez, Zach, you barbarian? Troll? Get a little sip of coffee. Absolutely insane. The Nikon 400mm f2.8 EFLED AFS Nikkor VR, $7,896.95 for a savings of $3,300. I mean, adapt it. Adapt it with an FTZ2 to like the Z9 or something. The Nikon 500mm f4e FLED AFS Nikkor VR lens, $7,296.95, $3,000 off. Nikon is clearly cleaning house. They could have done two things. They could have destroyed them and distributed the materials amongst the workers, or they could have just slashed the prices like crazy. Absolutely slashed them. This is ridiculous. The Nikon 18-300 3563 G EDIF AFS DX Nikkor, $3. What? The Nikon 24-70 f2.8 ED AFS Nikkor VR lens, $2,096.95. That's $303 off. Look at this one, dude. Nikon 14-24 f2.8 G EDIF AFS Nikkor, $1,746.95 for a savings of $653.05. The Nikon 50mm f1.4 G AFS Nikkor, $446.95. That's $135.05 off. And we've got another $3 savings on the 16-80. Oh my gosh, dude. The Nikon 800mm f5.6e FLED AFS Nikkor VR, $11,496.95. I know, sticker shock, but that's $4,800 off. Regular price $16,296.95. The Nikon 85mm f1.4G IF AFS Nikkor. This one specifies that it's a USA warranty with the Pro accessory bundle, $440 off. Normal price $1,768.24. It is on sale for $1,328.24. There's another $3 savings. That sucks because if this Nikon 20mm f1.8G ED AFS Nikkor, if that was basically like $200 off, that would be like awesome, because this is a wicked good lens. They're really trying to clear out some of these expensive lenses, but some of these other ones, I don't know why they're holding on to them for dear life. They should be almost giving them away at this point. The Nikon 180-400 f4e, that's a wild lens. A 180-400 constant aperture f4, very cool. TC 1.4 FLED AFS, original price $12,396.95. It is 30% off at $8,676.95 for a savings of $3,720. Let's effing go. I'm not seeing any other craziness, so just before I go, let's check out cameras. The Nikon Z6iii, this one's a camera bundle. It is $500 off for $14.96. That's a good price. If you're not real crazy about like having all of like the latest expectations of autofocus tracking, the Z6iii is a great camera. It has a great rendering sensor, and $14.96 is a good price. $300 off the Z8 with the FTZ2 adapter. That should be $4,246.90. $300 off at $3,946.90. Here you go, the Nikon Z8 without the FTZ2, $3,696.95. $300 off. That is a good price. No sale on the Z7 II. Come on, dude. They must not be coming out with the Z7 III anytime soon. Here's a Z7. Oh, with a 512 gigabyte CF Express card. I don't even have one of those, but it's a whole kit. Looks like it comes with some extra batteries, battery charger for those batteries, an FTZ2 adapter, a lens cleaning kit, and a bag for $2,472, $1,000 off. Like, this is what all this should cost, $1,000. And it's $2,472. That's everything you need to go on a landscape adventure, my guy. Here's a Z7 II for $1,000 off. $1996.95. Let's effing go. This is a Z5 bundle kit for $996.95. That's $400 off. I would get a Z5 for cheaper. Let's see if it's discounted somewhere. Yo, $766 off. Nikon Z9 with an FTZ2, and it includes a free 660 gigabyte CF Express memory card. This is the Nikon one. It says that that's a $766.95 value. Don't ever pay that much for a CF Express card. They're expensive, but they're not $766 expensive. Here you go, $400 off a Nikon Z5 full frame with no lens. I have seen these regularly in really good condition sell for under $800 used. And so if you want one new, $996.95, but you can get them used in excellent condition for much better than that. Okay, so the Z9 is basically the same price, but they've got this overpriced CF Express card. Hang on a second. Side note, I just want to see what a 512 gigabyte card should cost. SanDisk 512 gig, $150. Pro grade 1 terabyte, $349. Here's the thing. I'm sure it's a totally fine CF Express B card, but there's plenty of proven cards out there that everyone knows are fantastic. They're totally fine. Just get one of those. $766. Nikon, are you crazy? It seems like the lenses are really where it's at, and there's some crazy deals going on right now. So if you're thinking about picking any of these up, check the link in the description below. It helps out this channel. For now, I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade, and Z-Wade Photo. Stay sharp, YouTube.